Well, I was quite sporty, I guess, as a kid. And I found one day a set of clubs under my parents' house. And I guess I spent a couple of months sort of just tinkering around the backyard with them. And it was about at that time I was waiting for school. I remember I was late for school, and I'm trying to think what major it was, but it was Curtis Strange and Faldo were finishing, and then they tied, and then obviously the next day was a playoff. So I got to watch it 2 days in a row, and I thought it was so interesting on the first day. I really wanted to watch the next day to see how it finished. And I thought Faldo was cool because he looked like Harrison Ford, so for some reason I liked him. And it was really from then on, and I bugged my parents to try it. So Dad took me to the driving range, and it just progressively went from there. I went to the driving range every week with him, and he kind of started at the same time, so that was fun. And we really got in the game together. It was obviously through playing. I got into some state teams and national teams and things, and I'd always seek out other golf courses in the area where we had the tournaments. I'd try and play, a couple of other courses. And I read a lot, and I started reading sort of some course design golf books. Actually, my boss, when I was working in a golf shop, and he had a copy of Tom Doak's book, The Confidential Guide, and I started reading that and almost ticked off the courses, if you like. Particularly, there weren't so many in Australia and around Australia, but as soon as I got an opportunity to go overseas and play, suddenly that was my reference book, and I'd search out, I was playing a tournament in, close to the Heathland in London, so suddenly I'd try and get, all 10 or 15 courses and ride away to them and set up games. And then I went to, my parents were both teachers, my grandparents were teachers, and the thought of finishing high school and playing golf full time didn't thrill them. And so I went to uni, and I was good at maths and science, and so I did an engineering degree. I don't think I had any plans to be an engineer, but I finished the degree and I had that under my belt, and then I got into the Institute of Sport in Victoria. And so suddenly I had an opportunity to, I got better, and professional golf was suddenly an option. And I don't know whether it ever sat that comfortably with me, the thought of not really having a job. No disrespect to professional golfers, but it kind of, coming from my background, it sort of, it just felt like you were so close to the breadline. One bad week, or suddenly you were without a job. And I guess I liked the comfort of having something a bit more steady. So I was on a trip. I was living with my girlfriend, who's now my wife, in London, and on one of these golf trips, playing the British Amateur and whatever else. And I'd never contemplated golf course design. I loved it, but I just didn't think there were enough companies to get a job. But I wrote to Mike. I knew Mike through playing state events, and when I got back, I kind of went in for a chat, and it started from there. And so very quickly, as soon as I had a job, I thought, well, maybe golf course design was a legitimate career. And then I'd play well with golf one week and think, oh, the golf hat goes back on. Maybe I can make it. I did well in one or two professional events, and that was the path. But I don't know, the longer I went on, I had injuries with my wrist. I had a couple of operations, and I guess that I just more and more was focused on golf course design. So it was a fairly easy transition in the end, to pretty much give up golf and just concentrate on golf course design.